Hey everyone, we're
Up,
here with
Angie.
our show. How
Yes.
you doing, brother Nance? Are you
I'm
excited for
amazing,
today?
man. I am amazing. I am amazing. I am amazing.
Awesome. So we are actually, I've been talking about this for a while, and I figure it is time to just do it, and hopefully it continues to go forward with the association. But we are going to just kind of dive right in because it is a lot. We have now turned into a panel. So anyone that's just tuning in, we have a power show. We are going to be doing some spotlights. Hey, a hint, hint. Um,
Mervo, shorty.
well, I'm
Mervo in the
sorry, brother
building.
Nance. So what we're going to do is we're going to be spotlighting some alumni from Mervo, Mergenthaler Vocational Technical High School. So we're going to be doing some Mervo alumni spotlights. I'm very excited to introduce some people that are on. I put a post out and thought I could get a couple people, but we got so many that it seems like it's going to have to be an ongoing. I think that the alumni is doing really good at Mervo, and hopefully, just we can spotlight vocational grads and alumni in general in our city. But we're going to start at home with Mervo. I want to introduce, just going straight into it. Want to introduce our guests. I think we're going to probably have quite a few, so bear with me, guys. Anyone that's on, please share this. Anyone that's interested in going to a vocational school, may have attended a school, may have a story you'd like to share. Please make sure that you tune in, share it, and reach out to us if you would like to be on our next panel. So we're going to introduce Avon Coleman. That's my brother. All of my brothers and sisters. Avon Coleman. He's actually the president of the Mervo Mustangs Alumni Association. Woo!
You see that?
Also have Brenaya Winder. That's my baby. She's a lead teacher over at the Garden School, and she got her camera on. Hello,
Go
girl. And she
ahead.
got the
Go
stage.
ahead. Go
And
ahead.
she got the stage
I ain't
street
seen you in a
on.
long time. How you doing? Congratulations. I'm proud of you, man. You make us proud.
We have also, now we're staying with, we're going to stay with the young for a moment. Tobias Nance, he's an undergraduate of the
Yeah.
University of
Yeah,
Maryland.
man. Yeah.
We have Earl Schaefer, he's an entrepreneur, class of 2005.
Let's
Come
go.
on,
I'm glad to be
Tim.
in the house. Let's
We
go.
have we have Alicia Wilson. Anyone who knows, she is a powerhouse herself, Vice President for
Pleasure to be
Economic
here.
Development at Johns Hopkins University and Health Systems. Come on now.
Oh, Miss
Thank
Wilson, I
you.
need to
Thank
talk
you.
to you offline, Miss Wilson. I need to talk to you offline, Miss
Anytime.
Wilson.
I don't know if there's
Anytime.
anyone else that came on, so my producer's gonna let me know. But we did invite a couple more. If they come on in, they'll just be coming into the panel. I'm just gonna dive right in. Can we just say Mervo in the house?
Yes.
Mervo in the
Mervo
house.
in the
Mervo in the
house.
house.
We in the
Before
house.
before I dive into the questions, let me just say I'm so proud of our school, our alma mater. Um, we have done some tremendous things this past year. We've had up downs, but we have stayed strong. I want to just acknowledge that were the state champions for the football team. They just
Yeah.
they won the indoor regional championship and recently won the Baltimore relay champion for the track team. That's just recently. The Alumni Association is doing amazing things as well. We have actually provided a support letter to rename the field. We are actually on the panel for selecting our principals. So I want you all to know that your association is working for you. And last but not least, before I dive into questions, come on now. Our mayor is who? Mervo alumni. We are shouting out Mayor Brandon Scott. Hopefully he'll be on there on
Yeah.
the show one time.
Happy belated
for us.
birthday to the brother. Happy belated
Yes.
birthday to the brother.
So
Angie, I got questions too,
go ahead.
Angie.
Go ahead.
I got questions too, Angie.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So no, go ahead. No,
So
I
we
just
do
want
have someone else on. So hopefully, our producer is going to help us there. But as he comes in, I'll introduce him. But we're going to dive right into the question. This is going to be a first, and it's going to be a panel, so everyone will have an opportunity to answer. Again, if you are on Facebook, you see either on the On Fire or my page, just share it out so everybody can see what you're doing. So First question is, what year did you graduate and what was your trade? And I don't know if you want to go in the order I introduce or just go for it. I don't care.
Yeah, I think we should just let go how the order you introduce. Like, let them just go.
That's fine. Go ahead.
So it's me. All right. I'm from class 88. I was a welding. I was in welding shop.
Okay.
I graduated in 2017 and my trade was childcare.
Nice. Tobias.
I graduated in 2020 and my trade was PLTW engineering.
Ooh.
When you had that when I was there.
Look, I said,
ooh doggy. I'm graduated 2005. I was the salutatorian, meaning I had the third highest GPA in the mighty class of 2005, and I'm a third generation Mustang. My dad is class of 87, grandma's class of 65, my uncle's class of 84, my brother's class of 2008, my sister's class of 2012. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Come on now.
That's lit. Alicia Wilson, I was class of 2000, valedictorian, and it's a great. And my trade was business with my focus on computer programming.
Nice.
Oh, my trade was food service. I'm sorry, I forgot to say. I was running my mouth.
Nice.
I'm over here taking notes too. I'm not gonna do mine because y'all know I love Mervo, but I'm gonna save that for another time.
No, what was yours, Angie? What was yours? What year did you graduate?
Since you asked.
You were like 01, right?
I graduated in 98. 98.
Yeah.
Get it right. And I graduated from 98. And then also my trade was drafting, and I actually am at the same job that hired me in my work study program.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's
talk about it all the time. Thank you.
So I got a question.
Go ahead.
So, Brother Avon, why was it important for you to start the Alumni Association and keep it active? Like, why was that important to you?
Well, actually, I didn't start it.
I mean, not started, but like be involved in it.
Someone else started, and they need to. I came in the beginning. It started in 2012, so they came to me around mid 2012, asking me to come help out. I was a promoter type person. I knew a lot of people, so I knew how to get people together. So they asked me, could I get some people together so they can start making fundraising for some money to help get the alumni started. That's where I started at, and I got pulled in from there, and they somehow made me the vice president because I was just on the event committee doing events for the alumni. I got pulled in as the vice president, and then unfortunately the president, she stepped down, and when she stepped down, it pushed me over to president, and I've been there ever since. We looking for some people to come in to push me out.
I mean, this lady got some sharp young people on here, man. You know that maybe they can get involved. You know.
So that is going to go to our next question. Is why I like that he said something about the association, but I like to know, why did you all choose Mervo? Like, out of every school, I know we're the best, but out of every school, what made you choose Mervo?
I wasn't going to Forest Park. It was one or the other.
Tobias?
Yeah, I can actually chime in right here. So it was actually a real weird story. So I did not plan to go to Mervo or even a Baltimore City public high school after middle school. I actually planned to attend Mount St. Joseph High School. So basically I didn't get in. And then after that, I didn't plan on going to a public high school, so I didn't do the high school choice. So I didn't have a school to go to. So Baltimore City, they randomly placed me at Patterson High School. Me and my mom went in for the freshman orientation. I didn't like the school, so I, complained until I got transferred, and I got transferred to Mervo, and it's been a good relationship ever since. So
I would say I chose to go to Mervo. My oldest brother was class of 94. My middle brother was class of 97. And when it came time for me to choose a high school, my dad really impressed upon me the need to get a good education. So Mervo provided that, but also to have an ability to have a career and like to have real life experiences so I can make real choices about what I wanted to be in the course of my life and what was my profession. And so a vocational education coupled with the strong academics in Mervo really made it an attractive fit for me, but also was just a great. My dad said, Mervo is going to give you the best of both worlds. And it was true to form that was the best decision for me.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot.
For me, Mervo wasn't my first choice either. I don't remember what choice it was. Probably another big high school. But my mom went to Mervo too. So that was, it was a choice on my composite score thingy, but it wasn't my first choice. And I didn't also have a reason to go there. Like I didn't want to go there for childcare. I think it was just like a randomly picked thing. But come to find out, I was kind of good at it, so I just, stuck it out.
Nice.
Amen.
For me, my story, because just like everybody else has talked about the legacy of Mervo and the things that we offer. My dad being class of 87 and my uncle being class of 84, they always poured into me and they always talked about Mervo. Like they were, they had their military careers and they would be Mervo guys over the house all the time. They would always be up Patterson Park or they would be somewhere, hanging out. And it was always in the back of my mind. And when it came time to choose, when I was in middle school, Thurgood Marshall Middle School, which is closed now, all of my friends were going to either City or Poly. And I was like, well, I don't want to be where all of these guys are. I want to be in a position where I can create a name for myself. I had the awareness then because it was about 5 of us. They always compared all 5 of us, and 4 of the 5, not including me, went between City and Poly. So I said, well, you know what? Let me hear what my family is talking about. So I went up there for orientation, and I thought, okay, I could do culinary arts. I could be I wanted to be the next top chef, and the rest is history. That's how I made my way to the blue and gold.
That's what's up. What made you become an iota?
Oh man, because my young brother Tobias is on the yard at University of Maryland, my alma mater. Iotas was the only ones talking the talk, and walking the walk. This ain't no diss to the other D9s, but when it comes to the frats, these guys is resting on their laurels. They resting on what MLK and Thurgood Marshall did. They resting on Jesse Jackson. But when I stepped foot on Maryland campus, the Iotas was out there. We had the highest all men's GPA out of all 60 of the Greek organizations at 4.0. So we were handling business out there. We were raising money for St. Jude's before it was our national philanthropy. So I said, you know what? I want to be down with these guys. And being a young man, they had all the girls. So for sure, I wanted to be with the guys who had all the girls and was, so it's I-5 till I die, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
You heard that, Tobias? You heard that, nephew? You'll be a legacy boy.
Yep, you're a legacy, and I got a letter of recommendation for you right here. If you want to be a Mason, I'm a Mason too. I got a letter of recommendation for you. Yep.
So we do have another person. I just want to kind of make sure he, stick with us. We have Sergeant Hardy. I'm sorry, Marlon Hardy on here today. We kind of just started. You're a little late. We want to talk about you. Got to put your detention. but I just want to get you up to speed. If you could just let us know what year you graduate and what was your trade.
So my trade was accounting, and I graduated in '97.
And why did you choose Mervo?
Well, when I wanted to do a trade when I came out of middle school. So Mervo was at the time, well, still is, the best trade school in the city.
Come
Right.
on now, come on
Right.
through.
You better
And
say
let me
it,
give a
brother.
formal, just an introduction, like I gave everyone else a small one. But Marlon Hardy is a sergeant over in the Northeast District Police Department. And
All
of course,
right.
Mervo is in that area. So he is definitely invested in his community and giving back and so forth. So yeah, my little shout out to you. Next question, guys, and we're doing a panel. So just so you know, Sergeant Hardy, I'm sorry, Marlon.
Don't smoke a Sarge. Don't smoke a Sarge.
So we're doing a panel, so everybody gets a chance to answer. But the next question is, I always like to go down memory lane. Let's think about the time you were in school, you know, the 88 and 96 to 17 to 2005. I heard all these, right? 2000. So what is your fondest memory of Mervo? You can think of an event, a teacher, the donuts. Like give me something that, you know, when you think about when you were in school, what would be your fondest memory of Mervo?
My fondest memory of Mervo would be Coach Freddie Hendricks.
Mm.
Of course, I was a member of the Mervo track and field team that won the 3 state championships.
Mhm.
So he will always be my fondest memory of Mervo.
I'll go. My fondest memory is June the 4th, 1988.
Oh, graduation day.
Yeah.
That was a good one, brother. That was a good one.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
My best memory was, well, my class, you know, everyone's bragging and whatnot. My class was the first class. Our senior year, we was able to go. Our senior trip, we took plane and we traveled to Florida, and we were able to stay there, I think, 2 days. So Mr. Skinner, he took our class that on that trip, and that's like my greatest memory, because it was nice to know that we was that group, you know.
They trusted y'all to
Kudos
take
to
y'all.
y'all.
And we had fun.
Golly, he took y'all.
They
How many
would
was it?
not.
They took the whole class.
The whole senior
I didn't like
class.
How
it.
many people was in your
Listen.
graduating class?
Well, not everybody went because you had to pay for it.
Yeah, how many people? How many people you think went? How many people you think went?
I didn't like it.
Hold on. We got a hater on the comments. I'm on
Oh, come on.
Hey, Jen, we talking about Mervo. We ain't talking about Emerson, brother. We'll bring the Emerson crew on next.
Emerson can be next. Emerson can be next.
I like Emerson.
Y'all, they can't even say their name right. Emerson, like an admission test. Get man, come on. My fondest memory was graduation, and my father turned my tassel. So to be in that position, it was 285 of us in 05 that graduated, and for them to call my name, and my father being class of 87 standing about face in front of me and turning my tassel, and him being the first one to turn my ring as a junior still means everything to me. And then I paid it forward by I turned both my brother and my sister's tassel at their graduation. So that, to me, the legacy that we've built and the loyalty that we have to the blue and gold will always mean everything to me.
Yeah, I'm on for
That's awesome.
I would say my fondest memory, sort of built off of what Earl just said, was actually senior farewell. And really why that was so impactful to me was you got to see the best of all of us. Like graduation, you get to hear from the valedictorian, the salutatorian. And I was honored to get to speak. But it was farewell where you really got to see the athletes and individuals in their individual trades, like really like the brilliance and the excellence of Mervo. So that has to stay with me as like the fondest memory.
Did everybody go? Okay.
No, Tobias gotta go.
So I actually got two things. Number one was Mervo versus Dunbar soccer games. I was a former soccer player, varsity, so it was always great to go against them twice a year. And it was like every time we played, they gave us one and we gave it right back. So I really enjoyed that rivalry. Plus, my boy that go to University of Maryland with me now, he played for Dunbar, so I see him every day. And then the second one was like my experience doing robotics. You know, the 2 short years that we reanimated the robotics program, we made 2 city championships and a state championship my senior year, and that just really, especially my senior year, that just really showed me my hard work paid off. You know, helping my school get to a state championship, and you know, even post me graduating, they still got that winning culture. They just went to a state championship this year, and they qualified. So, you know, robotics was really special to me at Mervo.
Tobias, are you in a dorm right now?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I like that.
What dorm
Awesome.
you stay in?
Well, I'm not sure like what year you graduated, but this is it's Oakland Hall. It's one of the nicer dorms.
Oakland is a brand new hall. I came out of Maryland in 2009, the degree
My
in
daughter
English,
graduated from there
and
too.
they were building. Oh, Sherman Austin, he's a Mervo 87. He said, "How do we get on?" I'll send him a link.
Yes, I'm gonna
But
get
yeah,
you on the next one, the next round.
Oakland was erected after I left. I stayed in Elton with no heat.
Yeah, I
With
was out there freshman.
yeah,
It was like the I used to joke. I used to call it Latrobe. You know, I ain't
yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So let me just pause for a moment. It is 7:25. I just want to do a quick check-in. If anybody is watching, please go to the On Fire television. I think I may have had it wrong earlier, but please go on to the On Fire television Facebook page. You can also get it in the RTV radio show. Please, and it's also on the Mervo Alumni Association page. So please continue to share this out. This is a great history. We have various alumni on this panel from 88, 96, 2017. Come on through. 2020, 2000. And so we are all on here. We are going down memory lane. And as I go into further with the memory lane, I want to stay there for 1 second. If you can also just stay where you are in your era, who would you say would be your favorite teacher and or your favorite subject in school? Uh-oh. Let's see, some of y'all gotta go way.
You're gonna get us in trouble.
I
I would
would
say
say,
I had
yeah,
Oh, okay. I don't. How about favorite subject?
I had a lot of great teachers. I
Well,
would
you can
say
name them. Just drop some names.
I dropped some names like Miss Russo. I had her for American government.
Miss Russo, yeah.
I had her.
She was so good. I had Miss Bird for accounting.
Miss Bird, yeah.
Business associations. And Mr. Shoemaker for English and
Wow.
Mr. Latowski. I had some really great teachers. There's so many.
Wow, Mr. Latowski, you dropping some jewels there, Miss Wilson. My favorite was Miss Marcy C. Milliken for American government, U.S. history, world history, and then some people didn't agree, but Miss Evelyn Thaniel, she taught history and social studies. I loved her dearly because she would always know when I was BSing. She would know when I was just putting some stuff together to just go out, and she would always chastise me with love to push me to write that next thing better. Yeah. And my last was Mr. Earl J. Pate, who was a Mervo alum too, music. He was another one. I didn't want to read the sheet music. I wanted to rely on my ear, and he was not letting it fly. He always told me that you're gonna have to do this the right way, and he poured that into me, and I'm forever grateful.
Aww.
We had a few. I had Mr. Golden for law.
Oh yeah.
Mr. G for English. He used to give you we had to participate in this class. He get you money, and he calculated how much money you needed to pass this class. So if you was short $10,000, all you had to do is come up with $10,000 in his G money, and he would pass you. And then I had Mr. Copeland. He was the coolest black dude there. He taught biology. I don't know if he was there when you guys were there.
Yep.
And I had in my shop was just the best thing ever because we had the coolest teacher. We had Mr. Cogdale, Mr. Idell. Neither one of them probably was there when y'all got there because I think they retired not after we left. I think y'all had Mr. I forgot the skinny man name that was teaching down there. He was teaching sheet metal first, and then he came to the wellness shop when they started.
Sean? Was that Mr. Sean?
It wasn't Sean. I can't think of his name for some reason. I can't think of his name. He was skinny black guy.
Clinton? Donnell Clinton?
No, it wasn't Donnell Clinton.
I don't know then. I'm out.
Yeah. It'll come to me before we get off.
I feel like I have bad memory because I cannot remember any of my teachers' names except for my trade teachers. So I'm just gonna go with that. My favorite, well, because I did like my trade a lot. Miss O'Bannon and Miss Chapman, I really liked them a lot. They Miss Chapman was a bit more tough on us, and we were always like, oh, she's so annoying. But when you look back at it, she just wanted us to be, on it and whatnot. And I recently just talked to them not too long ago, and they're all like, I'm so glad that you stayed in your trade field and all of that. And it's just nice to look back at it. But I don't remember any other teachers, unfortunately.
Didn't you just come out of school?
Look, her memory, that's my child.
I remember 30 years ago. You talking about 2-3 years ago.
I really tried to think about I remember faces, but I don't remember the name. And I remember Miss Perkins. That's the only teacher that
I remember
was mean
her.
to me.
Angie, this your daughter?
Yes, that's my mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear.
You was at that school for alumni meetings, PTA meetings, no teacher.
Go ahead, Tobias.
Who is that? I was gonna say.
So I graduated recently. So I got names for days, but the two that really stood out to me, well, I'm gonna say three. One wasn't a teacher, one was a counselor. But
oh yeah, Miss Wright.
The two teachers that really stood out to me was Mr. Brosford, engineering teacher. He really pushed me to really express myself. I was never shy, but it was just like if it was something I didn't know, I just wouldn't say nothing. And he would push me to be that guy, be that dude in the class, answer the question, be the captain of the robotics team. He pushed me into that role, and he really just helped me get outside my comfort zone, especially with engineering. And I used to be an intern at Northrop Grumman in high school too, so going into those different spaces and just really letting myself be heard. So he really pushed me to do that. And then I was also in Navy, JROTC. So FC1 Wilkinson, he helped me out too, especially in the transition from high school to college. I didn't get in, but I wanted to go to the Naval Academy, the Citadel down in South Carolina. I still might go to the military after college. I don't know yet, but he really helped me gain a little bit of discipline when I do stuff. The stuff I learned at ROTC about, making hospital corners, waking up early, having an organized schedule. Like I still do that stuff today. So, he really taught me organization and just having a schedule, sticking to it. And then my counselor, Ms. Campbell, I don't even think I would be where I am right now without her. He was the type of person that pulled me to the side and said, Tobias, I think you can do well in this program, and this program, and this program. And I just listened to what he said, and look where I'm at right now. So if it wasn't for her seeking those opportunities for me, I just don't know where I would be right now.
Well, listen, I just want to say something. Tobias is dropping a lot of jewels, and he just graduated in 2020. That's all I gotta say.
No, my nephew makes me so proud, man.
I know. I just had to say that.
Mervo. I thank Mervo. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause I had a question on how has the trade...
I don't think everybody answered that.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Let me just make sure everybody had it.
My bad.
Yeah, go ahead, Sergeant.
My bad, Sergeant.
Don't have them come to your house.
My bad, Sergeant. My bad, baby. My bad.
Look, I'm just here listening now. So it's a lot of good memories that everybody's speaking of. So my favorite subject was actually social studies. Mr. Hoffman was teacher social studies and history. He wasn't my favorite teacher, but Miss Bird and everybody loved Miss Bird. Miss Bird and Miss Walker, who did our trades and business management, were probably my favorite teachers. And I had Miss Haronic for gym, and she was pretty cool. So, I would go with them.
I'm gonna say something real quick.
Who was your favorite teacher, Angie? Who was
I
your
was gonna
favorite
say
teacher?
I have to say it because I've been writing it down as I was just listening to you all. So my trade was drafting, and Mr. Johnson was really instrumental about me staying in my trade. When I came to Mervo, I came for nursing, and they took it out. So I was a little upset, and they put me with all the boys. So it was really hard. But it was Mr. Johnson, Mr. Weber, Mr. Quigg. They actually really poured into me and said, "You're doing a great job." It was around that era of going into the computer. So I went from the board to computer, and it started to click that, like my daughter said, I was good at what I was doing. And so those are the names I say stick out. And then Mr. Jenkins, I love math. So he was a math teacher. And Miss Linda Wright, she really made sure that, and there was a guidance counselor if anyone wasn't there during the era, but Miss Linda Wright really pushed for us to, land these jobs, go to interviews. So shout out to all the teachers that were mentioned. So I just wanted to say that.
And I want to.
Yeah, I was going to say, go ahead. What's your question?
No, I was going to say, the one common theme that I heard when everybody was talking about their favorite teacher, it was like how they pushed you, how they inspired you, how they, because that's what teaching is really about, whether you're going to, I'm a former educator, and to be in the school system and just watch, how some are failing, the system is failing, but some schools are doing well. And I think that, having a school like a Mervo can keep producing and giving young people opportunities. I wanted to segue into the question of, how has your trade, or you going to having a trade, how did that one prepare you for those that went to college, and for those that didn't go to college, how did it prepare you for what you're currently doing now? And if we can start with the young people, I would like to start with them first.
And I want to say this is why Brother Nance is my co-host, because that was the next question. See, we are linked.
I'm a professional, baby. I'm a professional. You already know.
Go ahead.
I think I'll start since I'm like the most recent graduate here, I believe. But I'm gonna actually be real and be 100. Like I said that I like my engineering teacher and all that, but I can't say that my trade 100% prepared me for what was to come, just because of the resources that were available to Baltimore City students. When I look at other PW programs around the state, it was like y'all was doing this when I was doing that. During high school, I got the opportunity to take engineering classes at Johns Hopkins University, where I figured out it wasn't for me. But I also realized how behind I was, and what the kids that were the same age as me, what they were learning and what I wasn't learning. So what that made me do is I need to buckle down. I need to catch up. When I got to college, I could have did engineering, but it would take me 6 years to graduate. And the longer I'm in college, the further I'm getting away from the bag. So I just switched over to security, and I'm doing that. But I just, like I said, the one thing I would like to see as far as trades in Mervo is just like for them to help students contend, especially the STEM trades. It's STEM where we're falling behind. Everything else I feel like is pretty cool, but it's STEM. That's where we're behind at right now. And honestly, as a graduate, like I said, I love my teachers. I love the PLTW program, but I can't say that it 100% prepared me for what was to come, especially being a student at the University of Maryland, which is a PWI. And, you from Baltimore, people think a certain way when they see you, you know what I'm saying?
Great answer, boy. Great
answer.
So I kind of have a mixed thing, because I also agree. I feel like the newer students at Mervo didn't really have the opportunity as far as what older trade graduates did. For instance, my mom got a job straight out of high school, and I don't see a lot of my peers sticking to their trades or in the field at all now. And for me personally, my teachers at my in my trade, they were really good. We did something, a yearly thing that we did, and we were able to get our certifications and whatnot. But And I also learned a lot as far as doing like the lesson plans and all of that. But I don't feel like it prepared me necessarily for it, because you just learn more in the outside world. You're not gonna know everything when you get out there. But I do feel like my teachers personally, they were given a little bit of resources and they did what they had to do with those resources. And I feel like I learned a lot amongst that. But I feel like this generation, we're not given the same opportunity as past alumni at Mervo.
Grace Point. Okay.
I was a culinary arts trade, and when I was in high school, I worked at Baltimore Country Club, and I did work study there. And then after high school, when I got to Maryland, I would come home and spend my summers working at the country club. And then I got in an accident with one of the grills, and I had some singeing and stuff on my face. So I walked away from cooking altogether at that moment because it was just a freak accident. I didn't want anything else to do with it. However, the skill set that I learned prepared me for today, because you saw, even in the midst of a pandemic, you have to learn to fend for yourself. And in this post-pandemic world, if I didn't have those life skills, I wouldn't, I'd be lost. And then also, even though I'm not in my trade any longer, you don't just lose the skills that you gained along the way. You don't just lose the knowledge that you accumulated over 4 years. So if push came to shove, all it takes is a simple call to the National Restaurant Association, take one refresher course, pay the $75, and my NRA food service and safe serve licenses are back active for another 5 years. So I could either get in somebody's kitchen and be a sous chef, or I could launch my own culinary business. So
yeah.
And I'm actually glad you said that before we go to the next guest. I'm glad you said that, because that's a very important point that you made, because that's what I tell people. Like, everybody's not going to go to college, you know what I'm saying? And the hand skills, those are the skills that's never going away. The HVACs, the plumbing, the bricklaying, the masonry, all of that stuff is never going away. You know what I mean? So I'm actually glad you brought that point up, for our listeners that have young people that's in high school or transitioning to high school and they're making their choices. I tell kids all the time, like, learn something that where you can at least see if that's what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like Miss Wilson said, and what you just said was a great point, because once you get a skill, it don't matter if you happen to have a fumble and have a record. If you got a skill, you know what I mean? If you're a good plumber, it don't matter if you got 5 charges or whatever may happen along your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a good plumber. So I'm glad you lifted that up out of the trade, because that was one of the reasons why I asked that question. So thank you so much, my brother. I had to come from iota to say something
that.
We
leading the way.
Go ahead, Miss Wilson. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. I was a business major in computer programming, but when I did work study, I actually did work study in law firms. And so I'm a lawyer by training. So I practiced law exclusively for 10 years and became a partner at a law firm. And I learned a great deal in undergrad. I learned a tremendous amount in law school, but Mervo taught me how to conduct myself as a businesswoman. And I still sort of lean on a lot of that learning today. So while I'm not a computer programmer, I realized that was something I did not want to do. I certainly would say that understanding how business works, understanding like the fundamentals of that work environment, being in a law firm is what made me want to go to undergrad and then law school, and then become an owner of a law firm for 10 years. So I think if it weren't for Mervo, I would not have had the skills that really allow for me to leapfrog into the professional environment I think I was working at a faster pace because of what I gained at Mervo.
Right. Is that a cruising hook you have on as a bracelet? Is that a cruising hook?
Yes.
Okay. So you've been to St. Croix. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Who's next? Reverend Avon.
Oh, I'm next. When I came in, when I came out of, I didn't come out of middle school. Wasn't no middle school when I came out. It was junior high. I came out of junior high. So when I came to Mervo, I came to Mervo as a sophomore. So by the time I became a junior, I was in the work study program. Quick. So it prepared me for life. I was able to stay in that work study program for the duration of my next year and a half at Mervo and go straight into the real world. And it allowed me to start raising kids. You know what I mean? So it allowed me to be able to start early and finish early because I'm done.
Right.
And my kids are grown.
Nice.
So
yeah, that's what's up, bro.
I'm 50. All my kids 25 and over, college graduates. They got their masters, all of them, and I'm done. So I'm good. Mervo did me swell. I'm not in my trade anymore. I only stayed in there for maybe 3 years, but it prepared me for the real world. It gave me a head start to get into something else, and I always can fall back on that. Always, even I haven't really done it in 20 years, but I guarantee you I can outwell anybody you put me next to.
Right.
Talk your talk, Mustang. That's right.
All day.
Yo, that's wonderful. You know what I mean? Like, and like you said, like it's just those soft skills and those life skills that you get from just being in the trade and doing work study as a young person.
Always got something to fall back on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know those Mustangs are cocky.
We are.
You got to be cocky. I think black people cocky. Period. That's just what we do. Hey, Sarge, you next, Sarge.
So I didn't use my trade right out of high school because, like, at the age of 20, I was already in the police academy. So I came out of the police academy when I was touching 21. So I didn't really use my trade coming out of school. Now that I own houses and own a business, now my business management and accounting is actually coming in. So it took like 10 years later for me to actually use some of the things that I actually graduated from Mervo for. So
nice.
It came later on in life, but not right away. So,
always can fall back.
Muscle memory, man. Muscle memory. Them trades always prepare you. Angie, we know your story. You still work at your job, so
Well,
your trade got your daughter through college, bought you a house, and all that.
Let me just say this. I think Alicia said it best. It basically just the foundation part. So coming there at 17 years old, just right into it, helping me with even building and knowing about banking and 401k, just the whole mindset and the foundation, not necessarily just the trade, but it even had me like wanting and yearning to want to do more, I think someone else had mentioned about even with the pandemic, like you can pick up a skill. I do well with drawing. I do well with graphic designing, not by hand, but I do well there. And so communications and, doing any flyers, so forth. Some skills you just don't forget. And so I'm appreciative of, of that. And as I stated, it actually helped me just stay grounded. When others were doing other things, I was there at work and didn't like it then, but I appreciate it now. And I guess since we talking about
can I ask?
I'm sorry. Did you not go? I'm sorry, daughter.
No, I did go. But
okay.
I wanted to add something else on about when I first graduated and went into college, my major wasn't I didn't graduate with child education anything. So I didn't go into it, and I went into college not actually wanting to do child development or child care at all, actually. But my freshman year of college, I was like, I need a job. And I was like, I have this, like my certifications, I might as well just work at a job dealing with children just to, make my money and whatnot. And then the same job that I applied to my spring of my freshman year. I'm still there, and so yeah. And it literally, like how everyone else said, it's kind of like you just pick it back up and whatnot. And I could take that certificate or certification with me years down the line because it does not expire. So
Special shout out to my baby, who is a lead teacher over at the garden school. She's trying to run from her gift, but she is so good with children. I'm so happy, and I'm happy that she's here. Her trade, well, I'm sorry, her major was mass communication, so I'm trying to get her on the radio show too, Brother Nance.
No, I mean,
it was broadcast journalism.
I'm sorry, broadcast. Yes.
you know, most educators, you know, you're selected. That ain't something you can go to college for. So she was running from it because she, you know, it was her purpose, you know what I mean? Because you can't go to college to have the soft skills to know how to relate to humans and people. So, you know, my next question that I had was like, you know, before we close out and y'all give us updates on what y'all doing, I want to know, like, how would you, like, you know, would you encourage, or do you think that Baltimore City should, you know, support or fund more trade programs for the youth of Baltimore City? Or how can we help young people outside of the schools with getting into trade programs? And how can Mervo and alumni such as yourself be active in that process?
This Alicia, I would say, you know, I have two graduate, you know, I have a graduate degree, I have an undergraduate degree. I will say that the education I received at Mervo was equally as valuable. And I think that, you know, I now sit as Vice President of Economic Development for Johns Hopkins. We have positions that desperately need the people that come out of Mervo to fill those positions. And those positions pay extremely
I need to talk to you offline, Ms. Wilson. Man, you need
extremely
to talk, Ms. Wilson.
well. No, we can't. We absolutely. But I am saying that we've got to value every sort of education that we can provide that allows for young people to be able to care for themselves and their families and build wealth in our community. And so I think that even if you don't end up staying in your trade, all of us are better for being students at Mervo. We are professionals before we even are out of high school. And I always say you can always hire a Mervo student. They're professional at the very least.
I agree with that.
So, you know, I think that more should be invested, because whether you go to college or you don't, the object of the game isn't to go just for going sake. It's to build wealth. And that's what I think Mervo helps us to do.
I agree, because I just watched my nephew, you know what I mean? It's just amazing to watch him grow into a young man, you know what I mean? And, you know, my niece, she's graduating this year, and, you know, her just, you know, her going to college.
Is that your niece right there?
Yeah, that's my niece comment. I mean, she's going to college, you know, and, you know, it's just, you know, I have other students. Like I said, I used to be a teacher, so I taught middle school. And so to see a lot of my students go to Mervo and graduate, and to see what they're currently doing, I know that if they would have went to another school, they would have slipped through the cracks. No disrespect, no other schools, but I just know the trades keep you focused. Like, if you're not really in academia world, you know what I'm saying? Like, then school is going to be like a hassle. It's going to be a headache. But if you got something that you know you can do, and it's something you're going for every day, you can tolerate and deal with all the academia that's associated with it. Because everybody's not into academia. I mean, everybody, that's not their thing. If you didn't get it in elementary, or you ain't get it in middle school, high school, if you ain't got no trade, you're going to struggle. That's really the elephant in the room, the gap in the segue between elementary and middle school. Kids are not prepared for high school. That's why they be dropping out. That's why they hanging out in the street. I mean, the sergeant know he a police officer. He know he's out in the community. You know what I mean? So it's not just the high schools dropping the ball. You know what I mean? And the trades, I think, keep kids engaged. So, you know, I'm just glad you lifted up that point, Ms. Wilson. You know what I mean? I just wanted to piggyback off that.
I think for me, because I was one of the few Mustangs from my class who went to college. Most of us went right into our jobs, but two other guys from 05, Earl Melvin and Brandon Anderson, came to University of Maryland with me, and a host of others went into their trades, and quite a few others went to college. I think as a community, as a whole, we got to get out of this college ain't for everybody mindset. And I say that because while it is true that the collegiate experience is not for everybody, it's taken on this meaning that, well, college ain't for me, so I'm gonna just goof off. And that leads to being out in the streets and all those other things. But I think as a whole, Mervo alumni need to really be a voice and take a look at what trade programs make sense financially. So in today's time, computers are where we are. So we got the young brother who's an engineer. We've got, other trade programs, other vocations that could generate that kind of revenue. And then we leverage the alumni at that we have, like our sister Wilson here, who is a lawyer. She has a Juris Doctor. She's a partner at a major law firm. You leverage those connections to provide the opportunities to our rising students and alumni, because I'm gonna tell you what, I'm willing to bet your money, my dollar. Everybody on this call, City College is doing the same thing.
Yeah, because you know what? Because you got to see more people in front of you that look like you, that can tell you different ways of how to maneuver once you get into the real world. You know what I mean? Like I preach that all the time. Like I try to take the young people that I engage with in school and take them to the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And let them see the things that you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, and have people in front of you, like you said, speaking about the opportunities and how you can, finesse your opportunities out here. And I agree. That I never looked at it from that perspective, Frat, like about, saying college not for everybody. It makes people lazy. I agree. You know what I mean? But I think that, if we can focus on making learning fun again, being smart the new cool, and because being smart is where it's at. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, you can take a lot of things away from people, but you can't take your intelligence. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. I think about, so if we highlight, and even when I talk to my dad about coming to Mervo almost 20 years ago, 17 years ago now, but he was telling me about the trades that were there then, like body fender. And I would ask him, he would show me how to fix brakes and show me how to change oil, show me how to do those things. But now the cars that I worked on in high school, because everybody had to take auto. So the cars we worked on they're dinosaurs compared to the vehicles that are out today. So we should, as alumni, be able to go to the decision makers and say, listen, we got an auto program and that's cool, but are we teaching are we just teaching combustion engine, or are we teaching hybrid engine, or are we teaching for like electronics and robotics? Because all the cars have modems in them now. They've got super smart interfaces. So are we teaching, those
different
things?
Pathways. Different pathways with the trades that you can do besides the traditional way. Like I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah, but you can't forget the traditional way, because the traditional way is still
absolutely
the base.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So it's still gonna be the base. You still need that
understanding.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
agree.
You
still need a bricklayer. You still need welders. You still need auto body. You still need electrical construction. That is the housing of the house.
That's the base. That's the base. That's the base.
Yeah.
That's the base. You gotta understand the base in order to elevate.
Without electrical construction. You can't have a computer without a building to perform it in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you still have to. You can't forget about them bases, because these are industries that's been going on since the beginning.
Forever, and they're going to go on forever.
And they're going to keep going on.
Yeah.
Brother Avon, check this out. I got a buddy of mine who I went to Mervo with, and he was a bricklayer. This joker has 0 student loan debt and makes 6 figures as a bricklayer, and his wife has an MBA and she can't find a job. But he'll always work, and he has no debt. He went into business for himself, and he is cleaning up. We got another guy who is now a sergeant first class, U.S. Army. He's using his trade from Mervo in his Army job. No student loan debt. 35 years old, making bank. Like, it's insane. You're absolutely right about that foundation.
And so we got like 6 minutes left, right? And I'm sorry everybody didn't get to answer that question, but I do want to, have everybody tell us what you're currently doing. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but if you have any of like social work that you're doing, or any philanthropy work that you're doing, or if you want to drop like where people can reach you at, because I definitely want to get in contact with a few of you guys off of here. I mean, I know my nephew, and I know my niece on here, so I mean, I can get in contact with them, but I would definitely like to get you guys' information offline. I'm sure Angie has it; can get it to me. But if you can just tell us about what you're currently doing, and maybe we can start. We'll start with the elders this time. And then with the young people, I ask everybody do like a little 30s, 40-second pitch. You know, the young people probably gonna talk a little longer. So I need my elders to set the tone.
All right. Well, right now, I started during the pandemic. I decided to start my own company. I have a print company that I do. I had a little brand that I have, but I also decided to go back to work. I haven't been working. I've been doing my own thing for like 3 years. I decided to go back to work. I went back to MTA I was going to drive some buses, but I got an opportunity at my man spot north of Grumman that I'll be starting in the end of the month. So I'll be at north of Grumman.
Oh, congratulations.
Nice. Brother, congratulations, my brother.
Mustang.
Sarge, we already know what you're doing, but tell us some more stuff, Sarge.
No, he's doing more. He can talk about it.
So, you already know that I'm a Baltimore police sergeant. I'm a community activist, youth activist, business owner, entrepreneur, baseball coach, football coach, everything all wrapped up in one when it comes down to the community and, kids. So that's what I'm currently doing. So
thank you for keeping baseball alive, Sarge. Thank you for keeping baseball alive. Because honestly, the black boys are the best in baseball.
They do it. My kids went to college playing baseball.
Baseball to one. Baseball to one.
It's a hard sport to keep alive because everybody wants to be a basketball player or football player, and which is like an oxymoron for me because my son is actually a football player. So it's like trying to keep baseball alive when everybody wants to be football and basketball players is a hard thing. So, and I try to tell these kids, what's the highest paying sport in professional sports?
Guaranteed money. Thank you, sir.
They don't understand that. So, I'm trying to keep it alive.
Appreciate you. Ms. Wilson?
Yes, I am Vice President for Economic Development for Johns Hopkins University and Johns Hopkins Health System. Also serve on a number of nonprofit boards. I'm chair of the College Bound Foundation, as well as the chair of Cherry Hill Strong, and I'm on the board of Center for Urban Families, a number of boards. I'm a co-founder of the Black Philanthropy Circle, which we just launched in September. We just are starting our first round of grants this month.
Ms. Wilson, I need to talk to you ASAP. No, Ms. Wilson, I'm not playing, Ms. Wilson. Like, I'm coming to have lunch with you, Ms. Wilson. You're in my backyard, Ms. Wilson. I'm coming to have lunch with you, Ms. Wilson. We're coming to have lunch.
Anytime, I will definitely, especially if you're Tobias' uncle. Yeah, you have brilliance in the family. So yeah,
appreciate you. Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Frat, let's go, Frat.
All right, let's get it. Well, I actually live in Colorado Springs, Colorado, where I am a member of the Pikes Peak Diversity Council. I am at-large member of the NAACP. In addition, I'm Polaris of Alpha Beta Omega chapter of Iota Phi Theta. I run a podcast twice a month called The Message from the Mountain, and I'll drop the link in the cards. I'm a finance analyst for Ford Motor Company, do quality assurance. But the thing I'm most proud of is my music work. I just got off stage at University of Colorado for Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill. I was a music director and pianist. And last but not least, you can catch me for music on all platforms at Earl Schaefer Music. And last, I'm gonna hold this up to the camera so y'all can see it screenshot. This is my card. I own the Earl Schaefer Travel Agency, earlschaefer.intellitravel.com. My motto is wherever you want to go, I'm going to get you there.
Hey, yo, you know what's so funny, yo? You know what's so funny, Frat? When I saw your last name, I said, boy, that sound like a money name, boy. That sound like a money name, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm glad you're doing that. Man, you got to talk to Frat outside of this, too. We got to talk.
Let's go. Right. People think I'm white.
We're down to the wire now.
Go ahead, Joe.
To one of you're
Try to
both
keep
mute.
it
Okay, go
fair.
ahead.
But so I work at the Garter School. I work in the 12 months to 18-month classroom. I'm the lead teacher there. I've been there for 4 years, and I just became a lead teacher this past summer. And I am going to be taking my CDA very soon, so that way I can work with children in the United States instead of just the state of Maryland. And I also think I want to go back to school for child education or social what's it called, social work.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Last but certainly not least, take us up out of here, nephew. You already know.
How y'all doing? I am a student at the University of Maryland, College Park. I'm also here on a full academic scholarship, so tuition, room, and board with the Incentive Awards program.
Hey, yo, I'm IAP too. Let's go. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean. I thought I was muted. I'm sorry. Go ahead, young brother.
Time out. Come on, y'all.
I'm gonna connect with you offline. I got you.
Come on. Go ahead.
But that took me off guard. I'm also the vice president of membership for the Black Business Association at the University.
Say that one again. Say that one again for the people in the nosebleeds, boy.
I'm the vice president of membership for the Black Business Association at the University of Maryland. We actually got a couple of events this weekend. Investor 101 event. We got actually an ice cream social Wednesday, and then we got an event for the University of Maryland Black Alumni Weekend. So, I've been helping plan events. This is actually my 8th event this semester, so that's rolling. We keeping it rolling. And then I got a little side job on campus too. I work at the Riggs Alumni Center on the events team. I specialize in audio visual, and this is my second audio visual position. I just did an audio visual internship at the National Aquarium last summer. It's really my side thing. It's not something I plan to do in my career, but it's just something I found out I was good at. And then as far as like nonprofit, I'm a part of the Be More STEM Student Advisory Council. And then I just applied to be a part of Baltimore's Promise. That's Baltimore's Promise Youth Grant Making Initiative. So if I get the position, I'll be able to help assist in writing grants for different programs in Baltimore City. So I'm a recent graduate of Baltimore City Public Schools, so I can really help put money in places where I know it needs to be, like STEM.
Hey, Angie, can I say one thing real fast? I had to get me a hat. I'm going to put it on so I can take it off to the young man to buy.
Look, I'm about to say what's on the hat.
Awesome.
Listen, this was a amazing show. As I stated, we received so much feedback that we're going to continue this.
Mustang,
and actually,
baby, we had to set the tone with the Mustang, baby. Yeah,
I
man. Like, I ain't go to no city schools. I mean, I'm a mill for Mill Miller, so I'm in the M's. You know what I mean?
I believe what we're going to do is through the Restoring the Village, I do believe we're going to try to open it up to other schools. So we saw some Emerson, Carver Bears, got me on a little message, little hate messages. But I do hope that this would initiate everyone that may have graduated from Mervo that are alumni to get involved with the Alumni Association. It is the Mervo Mustangs Alumni Association. We have an upcoming meeting coming up. I'm sorry, wait a minute. We have an upcoming meeting coming up, so I'm encouraging you all to just please get involved. As I stated, they are doing some exceptional things. I want to shout out Coach Vaughn Devon. I forgot to mention him when I talked about the track team. But also Coach Hendricks, we heard him they dropped the name, but we actually wrote a letter in support. And then also just follow us on what we're doing about being involved with the principal selection at Mervo. I want to at least say that I'm on the board for the Mervo Mustangs Association, as well as I'm so happy to have Avon Coleman, who is our president. I'm encouraging any and everyone who, again, graduated from Mervo. I don't care if it was in the 80s, the 90s, last year, please get involved and be a part of pouring back into our school. This is what is about, hearing these successful stories, even if you're not still in your trade, right? It shows that the foundation is there, our love is there, and our support is there. And so I'm really grateful for that. I also want to say that I'll answer the question really quickly, is that not only am I on the board, but also the president of the Northeast Community Organization that is also in the catchment area where Mervo is. So I think we all talked about it on here, how we're pouring back into either the city or just the area or the school. So I want to thank you. Even Brother Nance, he's been up at that school, even though he ain't graduating alumni. But you see,
I'm just a Baltimorean. I love
yes, but
Baltimore.
he's
You know what I mean? I love
involved.
Baltimore. You know what I mean? I'm just a
Yes.
true-blooded
So
Baltimorean, Northwest Baltimore guy.
yes.
I just love
So
Baltimore.
I'm gonna say
You know what I mean?
we're definitely gonna have to do like a different segment. I saw people that wanted to come on. We see people that's commenting. Again, we are on the On Fire Television Facebook page as well as YouTube. Please make sure you share it. Anyone who wasn't here. I'm excited. I'm actually really excited that we're going to do this again. And it may just come off of our platform for Mervo, Mustangs Alumni Association, but it's a start and it's something I would love for all of us to stay connected. And I'll turn it back over to Brother Nance because he's ready to say something.
And I just want to say, you know, this is what I see on this screen is our real story, the real narrative of Baltimore, the real narrative of what it is to show up as a Black human in America. You know what I mean? Like, it's more success stories than they are chaotic stories. It's chaotic stories everywhere, but Restoring the Village Radio, that's what we're here for, highlighting and changing the narrative, because we are in control of our narrative. No one else controls our narrative. So I just, want to salute you guys and tell you guys to continue to stay connected to whatever your source of energy is for your Most High, because that's your co-author. And let's continue to strive towards our greatness, and let's be, an addition and an asset to those around us. So again, peace and power to the people. We don't have good days. We create them so we can spread our love, light, peace, power, and energy to the world. Peace and power. Love y'all. Restoring the Village. Hey, I need everybody information. Fred, Miss Wilson, Avon, Sarge. I need all y'all information. ASAP.
Angie has no worries.
Look, I was.
You got the plug right beside you.
Yep.
Angie has everybody.
I think we're actually still live. I thought we was coming off, but
it's all good. But Angie, as an alum, one thing I say I can appreciate about Angie and how we even connected is like, I see what she do in the community. I see what she do.
Yes.
It's cool. It's cool that we
Okay.
live, but this the stuff that people need to see.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, Angie do things the right way. So, one thing that we don't do, we don't stand tall and stand strong next to people doing it the right way, especially our women. You know what I mean? So I wanted to stand strong as a brother and support her. Like, this is something that I always wanted to do. When I graduated high school, I wanted to go to broadcast school, but I didn't do it. But people say, I'm a talker. So, it's something that naturally I could do.
Look, Alicia.
I mean? So,
Alicia gave me that wink. Hey,
no,
Avon,
but hold on,
how
Angie.
people. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on.
Just don't end it, because I want to get Avon a chance to tell people how to come on as alumni.
Okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to say, so that's why this platform is important, and that's why I support Angie, because she do it the right way. So thank you, Angie, for being a stand-up Mustang. As we go into the segue. Brother Avon, tell them how they can get involved with helping out.
All right, you can get involved. What we need more bodies on the ground so we can connect and get more people in the association. I mean, we all alumni, whether you're in the association or whether you're not. But we need people to come and get into the association so we can start helping these kids out like we normally do.
Question.
COVID put a damper in what we do for the last 3 years. So we trying to get it back, and we kind of took a little dip, but we working on getting it back. Now we got the foundation, everything is set. We just need people to come on and help us move this thing forward. So we having a board meeting real soon, and then after we have our board meeting, we're gonna put out that we need to fill some positions in the association so we can move this thing forward. I would like to have this thing up and fully running by the beginning of next year, so we can have some funds to start helping people. Tobias don't need it. Tobias got plenty of money, but helping these kids out with whatever we can help them out with.
So I'm glad you said that. So is it like a Facebook group, or is it something like, how can people stay connected to the alumni group? And also, do you guys have like a youth component or young people that speak into the young people there so they can see, what possibility look like?
No, we don't have like what you would call a young component. We have like a Facebook group that page that you could follow. Angie actually runs the page, so it keeps everybody updated with what's going on and what we need to have done. She done a great job with that for the pandemic, because we really wasn't meeting like we should have, but we was able to stay in contact with the school and keep everything and everybody, abreast of what's going on in the school and what we need help with.
Well,
Like
we have
right
a
now.
Well, we have a soon-to-be
Right now,
alumni
we
that says that we have a soon-to-be alumni that says if they could take a couple $dollars off those hoodies, you know what I'm saying?
Well, all the sales, honey, doesn't come from the association. We're gonna make that clear, but we're gonna talk about that later. We definitely should probably have Avon, you can come back on and we can talk more in depth about that. And then also as you have your meeting coming up and how we can fill those positions. Now I do know we're really over time, and so I just wanted to make sure we all had that out. He is dying to talk. Like we missed last week, so he missed me too.
No, I just want to say thank y'all, man. This was by far one of my favorite shows. Not just because my nephew was on here, just because I like to hear success and be around successful Black people. You know what I mean? Like and like I said, this is something that I pride myself on, like just highlighting positivity. And you guys gave me energy, and I know that we're going to be able to do some networking and some building, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? So thank you all for just answering your call and towards your greatness. After Mervo, with Mervo, continue pushing. You know what I mean? So peace and power, y'all.
Peace and power. Go
Restoring the Village Radio.
Yep. Y'all have a nice
one. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Good night, y'all.